Hey YouTubers, this is Janelle, and go figure, I've been gone for, I don't know, a couple months here, and all of a sudden I've got 2 videos in one day. Anyway, this is going to be a response video to candiecc about supervisor and employee relationships versus friendships. And Candy, I have to tell you that I myself am in a supervisory position. In fact, I am store manager of a retail fabric store, and it has been my experience that it is a somewhat difficult line to tread between being in a supervisory position and also maintaining a true friendship with a subordinate. Now, I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just that a lot of times it's difficult, not necessarily just on the manager's side and not necessarily just on the employee side, but it is difficult at the best of times, for the most part, for the parties to remain objective when they are friends and they are also in a situation where they work together as a superior and a subordinate. Now, I've been very fortunate in that 2 of the stores in which I managed, I was able to develop some very close friendships with not everybody that was part of my staff, but certainly with 1, maybe 2 people that were part of my staff, but I think that was a very rare thing, and the parties involved understood that while we were at work, and we did work a number of shifts together all the time, but they were very logical and understood that while we were at work, I was in fact their superior. I didn't rub their noses in it. I did not treat them any differently from any of my other employees, and they understood from the outset, and it was actually spoken about very plainly, because in fact one of these people I had worked with before I became a manager, and we knew each other from working with each other at another store several years prior to my becoming a manager. But we were very good friends at that time, and actually the way this one particular person came to work for me, she happened to come in the store when I was placed back here in Louisville. She came into the store that I had just started managing, and you know, we saw each other and we started talking just like there had never been a break in the friendship. And I asked her, I said, "Are you still working? Would you like to come work for me?" And she was actually in between jobs, and she said, "Well, sure, let me go home, talk to my husband about it, and I'll let you know." And I happen to have known for a fact that one of the reasons she had stopped working beforehand was because of the person she was working under. But I mean, I said it to her only halfway joking about coming to work for me, because at the time I did need some people, and it just happened to work out. And she had been in a management position herself with another company at one time, and we were just totally in sync and on the same page in terms of our friendship and in terms of our work relationship. So I did not have a problem with her. We, to this day, remain really good friends. I've since moved on to another store, and she is still working actually in a supervisory capacity now at the store that I left, and we still maintain contact. We're still really good friends. And when she started working for me, she started as a sales associate, and then after several months I was in a situation where I needed to bring someone in as a supervisor. And I thought of her because not because she was my friend, that wasn't even a consideration, but because of the fact that she had very, very good supervisory skills, and I thought she would be very well suited to the position. So eventually she did become more my peer rather than my subordinate, although she still did report to me because I was still top dog in the store. We just didn't have any problems getting along like that. And there was another girl in the same store that I brought in as a sales associate, and during my tenure at that store I did promote her to supervisor. And again, it was understood. We could laugh, we could joke, even at work, but then when I requested that they do something, they understood that it wasn't an optional thing where they could say, no, I don't want to do it. That, they were in fact charged with the responsibility of doing whatever it is that I had requested be done. And there was not ever a problem. Now, as I said, Candy, that is a very special situation. Very rarely have I been able to develop real friendships with my subordinates, just because, not because because I think I'm better than they are, or they're beneath me in some way, but just because I find a lot of times that a lot of people will take the attitude when you're at work that, well, I'm your friend, so I don't have to do what you ask me to do, or you can quit fronting because we're friends, or they'll take the attitude that it's just what you say applies to everyone else but not to them. So, I'm sorry you lost a good friendship because of that, but at this point and stage of my life, when I go to work, it is for work. If it happens that there's somebody there I can develop a friendship with and they understand the boundaries between the two, and that when we're off the clock, yeah, we can laugh and joke and giggle and go out and have a good time and all that kind of stuff, but when we're on the clock, it is business, and we can still joke with each other, but I am your superior in this situation. If they can deal with that, then I see no reason not to be friends. But I don't put that out there openly, and if it happens to develop that way and we get along that way, then that's great, but I truly don't go seeking that type of friendship situation within the workplace, not anymore. It just, for the most part, creates too many problems. And like I said, a lot of people, for whatever reason, you would think it would be an understood thing, you would think it would be a common sense thing, that individuals can separate between the two and not get them mixed, but it's the same thing as mixing business with pleasure. Generally speaking, it's just not a good idea. I don't think you were wrong, and I don't think that the assumption you made was incorrect. I just kind of err on the side that I've seen it too many times where the other party assumes too much on the friendship when you're within the work environment, and that will lead to conflict and friction almost every time. Sorry it happened to you, Candy, but that's my take on on your blog. I don't know if this was helpful to you or not. I hope that the lessons you learned wasn't too harsh, and I just hope maybe you protect yourself a little more in the future so you don't get hurt again by this type of situation. Anyway, God bless. Take care, and I will talk to you later.